What's going on, my dudes? I'm Jordan with Exotic Whips. Thank you very much for joining me on another cars and warm drink. Oh, it is a gloomy, rainy Friday here in Texas. I am heading to the gym and wanted to do a little car chat with y'all. And basically it's just about one main topic today, and I really want to get your guys' input on this. First off, I'm using an external mic, so I'm curious to hear how this pans out. I apologize if the audio is crap, but trying to step up the game here, so we'll see how it turns out. So I wanted to talk to y'all about the Mclaren MP4-12C. Just watched, kind of skimmed through an episode of Hoovie's Garage, and it looks like he just picked up a used MP4-12C. And I'll be honest, I've been looking at those for a while now. I've watched the prices on those things absolutely plummet, and as far as I know, they've been plummeting for a few different reasons. One of the reasons is it was McLaren's really first high production model. So since the MP4 has come out, they've come out with the 570, they've come out with the 650, the 675, the 720, 650, 675, the 600 is a new one, 600 LT. They've come out with a few models, all of which I would argue have points that make them better than the MP4. So the 570, for example, it may not be as track focused as the MP4, but the technology in the 570 is far superior to the MP4. And to some guys that matters. To some guys who are all about driving, the MP4 may be a better choice. But to a guy who wants better nav, better Bluetooth, just better electronics overall, the 570 is going to be a better choice. But with that being said, the 570 isn't plummeting like a stone like the MP4 is. So you can pick up 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I almost bought a white MP4 12C with low miles. I forget how many miles, but it was right around $140,000, which is a lot of money for a car, don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy who can just go drop that amount of money on a car, so I obviously do my research and try and work out what's best. And now that same car you could probably find for in the 105 to 115 range, maybe lower if you look harder, which is, that's almost 30% around there ish. I'm not good at math, but I think that's pretty accurate. Which is a really big drop in 3 years. But that's not even the most worrying part. The most worrying part is just the reliability of one. So I would love to hear from you guys. If you could pick one up for, let's call it $100,000, and you compared it to the other cars you can get for $100,000. You can get a Porsche Turbo. You can get an Audi R8 V10. Let's see, what else can you get for $100,000? You can get a used a 997 GT3 for sure, a Ferrari 430, but that's going to be older, a Lamborghini Gallardo, that's going to be older, Astons, but those aren't really in the same class as that, in my opinion. But if you could pick one of those up, would you do it? Because I know they're a mechanical liability. My R8 that I've had, okay, so just to go into my supercar past, I've had an R8 V10, which was basically problem-free. I've had a Porsche Turbo, but that was an older Porsche Turbo. I don't think I would consider that a supercar, but still, that had a 675 EVOMS kit. I bought it with it on there, so I don't know exactly what the specs are on it, but that had no problems whatsoever. Then I had the C63 Black Series. That I don't think I would consider a supercar either. More of a rare car than a supercar, but zero issues with that thing. That thing was an absolute tank. My R8 V8 with the supercharger, that thing has really had it's had minor oil leaks. Yeah, they were kind of expensive to fix, but I would argue that you could get issues like that on most other cars. It may be cheaper to fix, but it kind of fits the price point. I mean, you're not going to buy a supercar and expect a $200 labor bill for fixing an oil leak. That's just the reality. They don't happen all the time. Supercars, generally speaking, are still reliable-ish. Normal wear items are just going to be a little more expensive. That's just the name of the game. But with the McLaren, it seems like issues happen a lot more, and what is more worrying to me is a lot of the issues that I've heard about and read about are electrical. Electrical issues, if it's just me, let me know, but they scare the crap out of me. I would much rather have a mechanical issue than a vehicle with electrical gremlins, so to speak. That worries me like nothing else. So it looks like Hoovie's car has a bad transmission, which I didn't finish the video. So I'm not sure why he bought it with a bad transmission. I'm not sure if he paid for it and then found it. At $105,000, which I think he believed he spent, I think that's what he said, $105,000. That doesn't really seem like that great of deal. Now, the car has an extended warranty, which is an absolute must, but $105,000 for a car that can't be driven, and he's getting the transmission replaced, I don't know. I feel like you can find better deals for something like that. I personally don't think I would have bought that. But is an MP4 a car that you guys would consider, or is it a car that you'd have to wait to fall? Because, I mean, the car has over 600 horsepower, over 450 pound-feet of torque, I believe. It's an absolute beast. So if that car gets to, say, $75,000, there's nothing in the price range even close to those capabilities. I mean, even at $105,000, that thing will, even at $105,000, that still pretty much annihilates anything else at that price point. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to hear what other cars I'm missing. But I'm fairly certain that car dominates at that price range. So, if reliability issues keep up with that, and those cars drop to 70, 75, I mean, okay, besides a GTR, which I would definitely consider supercar performance, just not aesthetically a supercar, in my opinion. I would love to hear the argument at what price you would actually consider a McLaren over the competitors. Because again, the reliability issues with that seem to be very heavy. Now, I know there's another YouTuber, Troy Salyers. I don't think he's had as many issues with his. So the issues may be hit or miss. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if I'd be willing to bet my $100,000 that I'd get a good one. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment down below. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. We're almost at 500 subs, and once we hit that, we're doing the $100 ECS tuning gift card giveaway. So cheers, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next episode.